Now, impact is something we talk a lot about in our social venture space, in social entrepreneurship, and in the area I'm working with through Fast Forward, social investment. It's a really important criteria. We're looking at what is the impact, how do we measure the impact. It's something I think about a lot. But the story I want to tell you about my lesson of impact had to do with when I really couldn't see what the impact was at all. Because the truth is, you are making a big difference with your actions and your interactions all the time. So when I was first married, I was living in Paris, a beautiful apartment about the size of, this stage. It was very beautiful if you walked in and thought, this is great, can we see the rest of it? But that was all. And while there, I ended up writing a piece for the United Nations on human rights and the challenge of universal human rights standards and cultural diversity. And I was fairly recently out of law school, where I was passionate about culture and human rights, and I put my heart and soul into this, and I had the right intention. I wanted to reconcile this, and I wanted to do so with integrity, and I brought that intention, and I brought that integrity to this action for social change. And I sent it off. It was my personal manifesto, and I sent it off to the UN, and they paid me the money. They said, thank you very much, and I never heard from them again. And I thought, well, that was a waste, and I was devastated, because what I wanted to affect so deeply, I felt had no impact whatsoever. But in the end, thought, well, okay, I did what I could do. And this was mid-90s. And then later, year 2000, I have to come closer because I don't see how far along this is. Okay. So in year 2000, I did a search for myself, probably before an interview or something, on the internet, which didn't really exist when I wrote this article in the early mid-90s. And that piece that I poured my heart and soul into, that I never got any reward or return from or for, was cited in over 100 places, in books, in syllabi, in articles, and it became one of the seminal pieces used to reconcile universal human rights standards and cultural diversity, especially in arguing against female genital mutilation. And I never would have known, were it not for the accident, the historical accident of living in a time when there's the internet, so I could get that feedback. That's not to say measuring impact doesn't matter. It is to say that to act with the compass point of impact is really not about making a difference that you're recognized for, that you're rewarded for. It's really about the difference that is made, whether you know it or not.